Okay, just got through dropping someone off at the airport. I want to try something. I'm going to go on the Autosteer beta instead of full self-driving to see what it's like on this build. And, okay, yeah, we're going to have to engage. Okay, trying to remember how to use this. Autosteer. Okay, it's not available yet. There. Okay, speed limit is 30. I can adjust the speed here, but if you notice, I can't go more than 5 miles over the speed limit. And that's not, man, come on. So that's really bad that it was almost going for that curb there. Why have they not improved this any? Why is this so much worse than? It's not even using a little bit of the full self-driving technology. It doesn't feel like. And you know, I can only go 5 miles over what speed it thinks. This is Autosteer, and of course, changing lanes, no problem. It sees the light. It's not going to do any turns, of course, at all. And I have to hit the accelerator. Okay, I'm taking over here. I'm definitely not going to use this. Even the shortest little distance is very uncomfortable. Well, let's see. It should see stopping for traffic control in 3, but it feels like it's speeding up. You're not in. Okay, yeah, it's not even getting into the right. Can't even get to. Park. Early in the morning, there's nobody around. So yeah, okay. It takes a while for it to reload that, so I'm waiting for the self-driving to come up. Yeah, it's like having to load an entire different program for it. Now I can almost engage it. Now I can engage it. Yeah, I mean, I think the auto steer and the cruise control options should be like a FSD Lite. Because yeah, that's just not that's just terrible. Honestly, terrible. We started off just trying what it was like without full self-driving. Now, I mean, I removed the full self-driving on the Model 3. I was just hoping that even on this build here, they'd be using something of the 14 build or something for the auto steer, but and you know, one of the reasons why I was kind of looking at that is because I've had a customer report my car swerving because it does get aggressive avoiding stuff in the road. And they think you should just run over it. You shouldn't bother swerving to miss things. say, it is pretty aggressive at that. Even when it doesn't need to swerve, it still does, because it thinks it might be something hazardous. It could just be a different color of asphalt they used when they patched that section. It looks different to it, so the car doesn't know, so it avoids it. Wait and save options out there. People like to use that. Now we don't have to pay as much for a ride, but it's kind of a pain sometimes when I go pick them up when they have a wait and save and they expect me to wait because they're still getting ready. It's not me waiting you save, it's me waiting you I lose. But anyway, I just wanted to see if there's been any changes to the autopilot. And I do know there are some people out there, I've had, one telling me that they've subscribed to the full, FSD, and they don't see what we see, and it still sucks and everything. And what they were describing was the Autosteer on Autopilot. And I had to show them in the car where they had to go and select the full self-driving to enable it. They didn't know. It wasn't by default. But yeah, you have people out there like that who don't know the very basics. And I've had another person the other day. I mean, it is funny what I run into. I had a person the other day who said that they were going to would love to buy a Tesla, but they don't have a degree in computers, so they can't use it. Because there's no buttons here. Everything's a computer, so you need to know how to program and everything before you can drive a Tesla. And I don't know, maybe it's because I've been in the computer IT field all my life, and I wake up in the middle of the night with program code that I need to try, and I do this stuff in the background, and sometimes my doctor asks me how I fix something. It's like, I really don't know. I wasn't paying attention to what I did. I just sat down and I've done it so long, I just fixed it without even thinking about exactly what process I went through doing. It's like a habit. So maybe when I first got my Tesla, I had to do all the code, how to turn left, how to turn right, I don't know. I might have missed that. Just being sarcastic there. Not that more difficult to drive. The auto shifting, the not having a stalk here for shifting and stuff, that is the only other learning curve. But as far as the driving, you have a brake pedal, you have a gas pedal, and you steer. It's very basic driving. A lot of people say the same thing. Well, this big screen here, that'd be very distracting. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're not staring at the screen all the time. But anyway, let me pick this person up, and thank you. Have a good evening or good morning. coming up to a road blockage, and it sees the road is closed, and it is rerouting. I also just wanted to reiterate, I understand, me testing the Autopilot with steering assist, that it's not meant to be used from beginning to end, point to point, like we're used to using full self-driving. That's mainly whenever you start getting on the main road. Everywhere else you will be driving yourself. So normally people would not use that until they got out of the airport into the regular road and what have you. So once you get on the main road into the proper speed zone, yeah, then you engage that. The other times you are driving yourself. So I shouldn't expect it to be very well in that area, but still, they could be using a little bit of the full self-driving to handle it. Technically, we should have turned there, but if we can still get this away, it'll be good as well. But for the detour there, but I'm just kind of, shocked that the Autopilot and cruise control really hasn't had any updates. It'd be nice to know what the future holds for those who do not subscribe to FSD, if there'd be an FSD Lite to be able to use more of it. And, me getting used to always just engaging the full self-driving and not doing any driving myself, it's a habit. Okay, that detour, but this is still closed. Why was a detour street? I don't know. In a confusing area where they put that sign to show which way the detour is going. Should be closer to the intersection and not so far back. I don't know. But yeah, Autopilot and the cruise control. Cruise control, you can set the speed to whatever you want. But when you have the Autosteer, it will only go 5 miles over, and it still seems to get speed limits wrong. I say that whenever I drive my Model 3. There's areas where you're still not getting the speed limit correct, where FSD does. Why the discrepancy between the two, I have no clue. It should be the same nav data. The camera should be seeing the same thing, but I don't know. But like I've uploaded in a previous video, if you have not gotten 14, but if you're on the 2025.38 build of software, you're not going to see FSD for a while, because FSD is on the 2025. Or the FSD 14 is on the 2025.32 build, and you can't go backwards. Was 32 right, or what? It was the 32 build. It's kind of a little bit harsher braking than a railroad track, but appreciate it's kind of a railroad track. Well, yeah, you can't go backwards in the firmware software updates. So, like I say, if you've passed that 2025.32, you won't see it until FSD 14 gets on a future release. It'd really be nice if they would just put this build on the current build chain. That way people could get to it, instead of us being behind in all the other features like the Tron mode and all that, which we don't get to see. But a lot of traffic at the LNG plant this morning. A lot of people going to work there to build the plant, that is. Once the plant's up and running, they won't have as many employees there. But anyway, that's all I have for today, or for now. I may record some more later. Thank you. A like and subscribe would be nice. Have a nice day.